So this is the present tense in Spanish. So this would be equivalent to in English I do or I am doing. This is quite often forgotten that the present tense can mean this. So if you know the present tense, it can mean a continual tense. It's equivalent to the continuous tense, the present continuous as well. So you could use either. But if you don't know the present continuous, you can use this one instead. And it's also used for things that you usually do, so habitual actions, repeated actions for the weekend or the week, for example. So Sundays I go shopping, Saturdays I play football, Fridays I do my homework. So things that you might usually do on a regular basis. So how is it formed? So let's have a look at regular verbs first. So we take an infinitive. Can you remember what an infinitive is? Well, hopefully you will have said they're the verbs that end in AR, ER and IR. Now in English, all of our verbs in infinitive form start with to. So let's have a look at the example is to eat. We have comer, so it ends in ER. To buy ends in AR, comprar. To live ends in IR, to live, vivir. Bien. Okay, so for regular verbs, all we do is remove these infinitive endings and we create what we call a stem. So without these endings on the end, it would be com, compr, viv, and those are our stems. And then we just add the correct ending for the person that we're talking about. So we've got our three sorts of verbs, AR, ER and IR. Now you see some of them are quite similar, so you don't need to learn quite as much as a whole set for each of the three. For the I form, really easy, AR, ER and I are off, and then just add O on the end. So, comer, for example, take the ER off, become como. U singular, remember there are two U's, well there's four U's in Spanish, but this first U is U singular to one person that you know really well or is younger than you. So you take the AR, ER and I are off and add AS for the AR verbs, ES for ER and IR. He, she and it. We take the AR, ER and IR off and add A for AR, E for ER and E for IR. Now if you've learnt the U formal singular, this is the same ending for that as well. So U formal singular to a person that's older than you or that you don't know very well, this is the ending you'd use. Then we have the we form, so we have amos for AR, emos for ER, and this is where we have one change on the IR now. It just changes to imos. Then we have U plural informal, so to more than one person that you know or are younger than you. So we have ice for the AR, ace for the ER, and then the change is for the IR. And then they form an for the AR, and then back to the same one for ER and IR, N for both of those. Again, if you know the U in the U formal plural, this is the ending you'd use for that as well. So somebody you don't know very well who are older than you, and there's lots of them, you'd use this ending. So let's take the example I've given you. So comer, as I said before, take the ER off and we've created the stem com, then we add the O for the I form, I eat. Or if it was they, take the ER off, add EN and we become comen, they eat. Notice that in Spanish you don't need to put I, you, he, she and it like we do in some other languages. You just take the verb and the O on the end for the first one tells you it's the I form. The EN on the end tells you it's the they form. Another one to do, comprar, so we take the AR off, comp becomes our stem, put amos on the end for the we form, becomes we buy, AR off, as on the end becomes you singular, informal you buy. So irregulars, now there's a set of irregulars, and these ones are mainly irregular in the first person, so they're similar, so tengo, salgo, hago, pongo, traigo. They have a similar first person ending, first person formation. The rest, apart from the first one, are similar in they're the same as the regular formations. Just the first person in these last four. The first one is called a radical changing or a stem changing verb, so that's why we have tienes and tiene. You need to have a look at the video for that as well. But if you just learn this one for the moment, if you're not sure, just do this one for the moment and then go on to that once you've mastered this. And then we have another 3 or 4 verbs that are similar in function. Now the first 4 here, the first 4 in the first person are similar beginnings. Ir, voi, ser, soy, dar, doi, and estar, stoy. And then the rest of them, apart from dar, which is regular all the way through, apart from no accent on this one, they're completely irregular. So voy, vas, va, vamos, vais, van. Soy, eres, es. Somos, sois, son. Doy, das, da. Damos, dais, dan. And then this one, estoy, estás, está. Estamos, estáis, están. Now this one is basically regular, only you have the accents on it. Otherwise, it means something slightly different if you have them off of some of them. Okay, and then our last three. Again, this first one is the one that's irregular. So saber, to know a fact. So we've got se, and then the rest of it is regular. So se, sabe, 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 sabemos, sabe, saben. Conocer, again, first one's irregular, the rest is regular. Conozco, conoces, conoce, conocemos, conocéis, conocen. And conducir, conduzco, again, first one and the rest are regular. Conduces, conduce, conducemos, conducís, conducen. Actually, there's a mistake there, sorry, it should be conducimos. Make sure you note that one down. So any verb that ends in CER or CIR, the first person will go ZCO. Okay, right. So let's have some practice. You might want to have your notes in front of you for this. So there's 10 here to do. Have a little go, see if you can try and put them into Spanish, and then we'll go over the answers in a minute. Okay, so number 1 should be comemos. Número 2, toman. Número 3, canto. Número 4, sales. Remember, this is a singular you form. Número 5, estudia. Número 6, somos. This is irregular. 7, vivo. 8, hace. Remember, hace is regular apart from the first person, which is hago. 9, ven. Y 10, miráis. So the you plural form. Okay, hopefully you've got the hang of that. Have a rewind back if you're not sure.